Hey, welcome everybody. This is the CSRN Video Minutes. This is our weekly podcast where we go over some of the things that we've done the week before, some of the things that we're doing now, and a couple of things that we got in the works right now that's going to happen later on this week. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I use the gender pronoun he and him. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN and happy to be able to be there on day one with Mike Leonardi, Jabril Bey, Kamasi Kush, Ebony Burks, and so many others that came up with this idea of being able to advocate for the lives of Black and brown bodies and not having to be preachers, Jody, politicians, or some type of professionals. And we're just ordinary people doing some extraordinary things. And today, for those who are visually, have their visuals challenged, I have on a blue t-shirt, my glasses from Optigo, from Twix in between, no letters on my shirt today. Hopefully I'll have something equally offensive next week. All right. So I'll make sure, I take care of that. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting and protecting all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. And last week, I went over some of the genesis of CSRN from our first protest at the Lucas County Courthouse to our disrupting the official King celebration at Savage Hall to Black Lives Matter Day. So many things that we've experienced with other people. The
movie theaters, the scholarships.
Right. When you say movie theaters, we also had the Black Lives Matter Theater.
Yeah.
And what that was, we would either utilize the Ohio Theater to put together some films that are dedicated to the lives of Black people, or we built our own
theater.
Hey, we built our own theater.
We showed Fruitvale Station, and
right.
We literally put up, me and Brother Washington,
right,
put up a 20-foot scaffolding, and yeah, that was interesting.
That's the last time I'll do that. But so many other things. The scholarship program where we contacted students from University of Toledo, Bowling Green, and other schools, and write an essay on what does Black Lives Matter mean to you. And first place was $1,000. Second place was $500. Third place was $200. And we were able to help some of our students. Because most often you think that when young people are in college that they have it made and they don't have any other challenges or any other problems. And I had two children in college, and that's not the case. All right, not at all. So, hey, look, that's me. And what I want to bring up Jody now. Who you are? Oh, this is also the headquarters of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And there's no better organization that I've seen in Toledo that have handled the banner of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else other than CSRN. Not to pat ourselves on the back, but it is what it is. Unbossed, unbought, all the way. So, Jody, if you could introduce yourself and also I think we got the mission statement.
Yep. What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. I know y'all missed me last week, but I'm back. For those of you that have visual impairments, I am a brown-skinned, cinnamon-toned, big bear of a man that is covered in crystals and tattoos. I have piercing, and I wear clothing that is non-descriptive or corporate. So you'll never see Reebok, Nike, any of them name brands on me. The clothing that I wear is representative of my city, so I keep my dollars back in my community instead of going online or just searching for the cheapest price. I make the sacrifice of I invest in you, and one day you may invest in me or the community or pass it down to somebody else.
Right.
So my hat is from Filthy Feathers. The shirt that I'm wearing, which a lot of times I wear plain shirts. I'm not looking for shirts with words on them or anything like that, because really I don't want you knowing what's on my mind. And I'm not a quote. So a quote isn't going to help me or people. It may be inspiring for a moment, but what I got right now is a shirt that was given to us by one of our organizations we worked with that says "Don't tweet, hit the streets," which is, as Brother Washington was saying about being unbought and all that stuff. I'm the treasurer of this organization, and I've enjoyed that role for the past 6 years or so. And that's because I can't be bought. You can't entice me with anything, and I don't want your money. Again, this is us working this. Anything that we do get goes to our community. It doesn't pay our bills. It doesn't do nothing. It doesn't prop us up. I wrote books, created art, but Washington does mental health and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we found ways to work the system and still be upstanding citizens without feeding off the backs of the dead.
I was going to say, post that again. But yes, sir. Absolutely.
But yeah, so everybody that's watching again, we love your participation. If you want to leave a fist in the chat, hey, what's up? How y'all doing? I don't like y'all. We even take them too, because I mean that means you took a moment out of your time to
that's right
watch us. So we appreciate that. But this is our mission statement. This is what's held us together for so many years, what keeps us grounded and make sure that when we walk into other doors, we don't lose our own keys or forget where we came from, because we still have a mission that is good. So we are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often police brutality goes without consequence or accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties. Be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. And injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And my pronouns are him, he, and we. Want to know the we? Just Google me. It's a lot of fun stuff. Again, I'm sorry I missed last week, but that's part of self-care. That's part of making sure you are, if not 100%, at least able to do the job without breaking down and passing it off to somebody else. So thank y'all.
Now, you just read the mission statement, and I think I asked you this last week, and somebody asked me to ask you again. Why do you think it's so important for grassroots organizations like ours? We're not the only one, but why do you think it's important for groups like ours to have a mission statement? How would you answer a question like that?
Because it gives you a foundation. Anything without a foundation on something that is tangible, something that isn't a meme or a thing to make you feel nice, has substance, has weight behind it, has, well, I know I'm a part of all these other boards and stuff, and they got their own mission statements. They sound similar, but this is what we do. So you learn that you can't, like, I do a ridiculous amount of stuff. I can't take people when I'm out at an art gallery showing to the same place when I'm out at an after hours. They may get lost. So that would be wrong. I can't shove people into things that they're not ready for. I can encourage them, but I'm not booting nobody off the cliff and expecting them to not get injured in some type of way.
And I think that's important. Another thing that's important is is to have some guiding principles, not necessarily rules, but some guiding principles that can hold groups like ours together, because it's not a religion. So all of us have not agreed to believe in the same thing.
Right.
All right. Or do things the same way.
I mean, again, it's sometimes when we get Julian or Ruth here or somebody like that, we have the perfect comical joke. A Buddhist, Muslim, and whatever denomination walk into a room. They all come out agreeing, happy, and stuff like that. So I think the misconceptions like what you should do are a little bit skewed.
All right, I thought that was going to be a joke. I'm like, oh, am I going to have to cancel myself?
I mean, in essence, to the I guess what the norm is, we are joking because they don't believe that we have the power of unity. But if we can all come together and put some of our things aside to get work done, they're like sitting there at shop, and then they want to try grants and money to distract you and dissuade you from your purpose.
All right. And that takes us to our guiding principles, and these are real life principles that anyone, even if you say that, well, I'm really not a member of CSRN, but the guiding principles really bind us all together. And these are our CSRN guiding principles. All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And Ashe means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principled struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love, is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
And those are our guiding principles. And these guiding principles came about 5 years ago, Jody. I saw in our Facebook memories what was coming through my memories, and I saw what was coming through yours, is our participation in the movement for Black lives. And you might ask, well, what is that? That was a defining of activism and protest, that young people came together and rewrote the script for activism. They rewrote the script for movements as it pertains to Black people. And at this conference, the primary facilitators and leaders, all under the age of 40, only Black people were allowed to participate in this forum, in this workshop. And at the end of the forum, maybe during the middle,
Right.
Maybe during the middle, they gave their guiding principles. And the first thing that they said was all Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, Black men and women lives, Black children and elderly lives. So they included everything into the movement. Whereas before, when it came to us as men, it would only benefit those of us that are male, Christian,
middle class and upper.
Right, middle class and upper, and Democrat. So if you didn't fit into that space, no one cared about you.
Yep.
All right, no one cared about you, or at least that's what the funders of our last movement said. All right, so this was different. We embraced the guiding principles for the movement of Black lives and adapted it to what we do here. And the movement for Black lives, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I said only Black people, but there were also other people.
Right, there were, I guess, what we call now is allies, but as far as the programming, what you saw on stage, who were the team leaders and stuff, as we have in one of our guiding principles, it was us. It wasn't somebody trying to shame you or feel bad that something happened to you. It was the people that lived in their environments, like you said, people under 40, people that were actually experiencing it in college or even younger. I mean, I remember one of the breakout sessions, which is one of the first times I had done that, and there were some 18-year-olds in there that were leading the group, and it was like, this can be done. I have hope for this. Mm-hmm. And it was a 2-day event, by the way. It wasn't just, we're going to throw some pop-up stuff together. Right. It was thought and planned out and done to the best of the ability of the organizers, and still want to give them a shout out and thank them for that.
Right. And that still moves on. There's still a lot of planning that the movement for Black Lives are doing right now, and you can access them by just typing in your search "Movement for Black Lives," and hopefully Google will be honest this time. All right. Right.
4 or 5 results. Again, just as Circle comes around, we were part of that event last year where they gave out boxes and had a program. I forget exactly what it was called, but I didn't get a box, but a Washington Ruth. I'm trying to have them. Yeah. What was it called last year? It was like conference sessions.
Right. And there were breakout sessions that were being done, and man, it was just an extraordinary experience to be a part of. And we still carry that on today when you see some of the CSRN interns, or where you see CSRN show up in the streets. It is not a bunch of geriatrics from yesteryear. I may be the chief geriatric.
And it's not people in full body armor either, because we don't need that.
Right. So it's awesome to be here. Hey, look, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about, I think we've got Hoodstock coming up.
Yep.
We've got a CSRN Meet the Candidates Forum, Black Lives Matter Meet the Candidates Forum coming up. So stay tuned. This is CSRN, our weekly podcast. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm along with Jody L. Summers, child of the system, spoken truth.
Hello.
I'm here along with, I should say, along with Jody Summers, child of the system. They'll edit that part out. All right.
It sounds like I kidnapped you, like the code words.
Okay. I meant along, not alone. I'm alone, so somebody come and get me. All right. I wish I could sign help. All right. Somebody come and get me. I don't know how to subtly say it. That come to the spot and get me. I'm alone with Jody Summers. No, I'm here with Jody Summers, child of the system, tears of the wounded, spoken truth. Him, he, they. I'm here with all of them here, and this is the CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. And I wanted to just start out today talking about the Toledo recovery plan. The next scheduled meeting for that, there's a virtual meeting today. All right, and we didn't want to pop up at the virtual meeting because it's highly likely that you can get muted in Zoom.
Yep.
All right, so I'm really at their really at their beck and call when you show up for a virtual event. So we're like, okay, there's some others that are going to gain information from that event, but this is really important for everyone in the community to help in the decision to spend. Is it $180 million?
$80 million.
All right,
90 of which they already have, and seeing if they have ideas about.
Right. And our job is keeping them honest, exposing corruption, as was exposed maybe a month ago when it was found out that the city of Toledo gave Buckeye Cable
a pass,
and the Block family of the Blade a pass, $1 million pass. And man, what could you do with $1 million pass? Well, the city of Toledo gave the Block family $1 million pass. Some of us stood up and blew the whistle on that and took them to court. So as of right now, I think the city is trying to get their $1 million back. But what we want what's ours. And this $180 million in the groups and the workshops that they're having right now in Toledo is important for us to be there, to ask the questions and have the follow-up to the questions so that we just don't waste this time.
right?
So that we don't be victims of political abuse. That's when politicians say that they're going to do something, and 6 months from now, they'll tell you that, nope, they said something else. So we want to be able to document our involvement, have a hand in where the money is going, and particularly to our communities where Black children and elderly are at most at risk, are the most vulnerable of our community, and especially at a time when so many people are talking about the violence in our community. And most times, Jody, our community is the most reported.
Yep.
All right. We're
They
only
have the most cameras around. They have the most restrictions.
Right. So it might appear that it's more violent, but it's just more coverage. But still, we want to acknowledge that whatever's going on in our has been going for some time, and it's going to take much more than more police on the streets. It's going to take more than more police on patrol. We really have to go to the root, which is poverty, which is economic justice, and being able to make our communities ourselves a decent and safe place to live. And that can't happen without our participation in this $180 million. So if I'm not mistaken, I think next Tuesday, I think at my branch library. All right, maybe I'm going to double check that during the break. Right. Oh, I'm sorry, at Whitmer High School. That's Washington School District. At Whitmer High School on the 10th, we're going to see CSRN is going to be there. So you may not see us here. All right. There's a great chance, Jody, They won't see us here. We're going to be at Whitmer, asking some of the hard questions about where that money is going and not allowing it to go fix another um, Door Street right across from Inverness, golf club.
Mm-hmm.
Not have it to be a part of something downtown that ProMedica can benefit from, or Key Bank, or Fifth Third, or Huntington. Man, all the banks are downtown.
Or as I've seen a lot of quotes, all the organizations that's been doing this for years, the exact same thing. So giving them more money is going to solve what?
Absolutely nothing. There's a lot of organizations. We're going to be talking about Hoodstock soon. Organizations like Hoodstock, the Impact Program, Gateway, program, Urban Holistics. All of these programs that are on the front line in our community. Man, I got to bring up Deidre Brown.
Yes.
All right, and David Davis program. These right.
We can rattle on
right.
here,
and that's what we're going to rattle on at Whitmer.
Yep.
Before you start talking about the United Way, Boys and Girls Clubs, and some of the premier organizations that have always benefited from Black bodies in our community. But when it comes to giving back and solving a situation, we've always come up with zeros. Yep. So it's time for us to take the driver's seat and steering wheel of this $180 million and show up 6:00, Whitmer High School next Tuesday. And speaking about things that are going on right now and what CSRN partners and helps to sponsor to bring peace to our community is Hoodstock.
Yes.
And we are a sponsor.
Yes.
An official sponsor of Hoodstock 2021. And if you don't mind, you're on the board. All right, you're on the other board too, and the other board. But when it for Woodstock, why for Hoodstock? All right. Hey, okay, all right. Well, that's what the paper says. All right, they write the script. All right, no, okay. Only if you owe, you would say that word, but we're not going to say that word again.
But yeah, I am an executive board member of Hoodstock and board member of the John Adams, coach board member here. I'm a whole bunch of stuff, but again, it's to, I guess, facilitate, and because I do a lot of things. I'm an artist, author, illustrator. I have my own companies. I'm a chef, a handyman. So all of that integrally to me is Toledo. And as I've gone throughout the years to board meetings and political parties and all this stuff, I saw, I guess, kind of a divide. And you'll see it in some of my earlier books and artwork. I would rather just be the bridge. So it doesn't mean that, oh, he's making sure these people get money. No, I'm trying to put the people in front of options that they can get out or help people. I'm not going to United Way like, hey, this block over here has some stuff going on, and if you come, you might get some. No. We just did the first fundraiser for Village on Adams at a block party. Now I made sure that to invite all the people I knew from different backgrounds, and we had Devon Fang, or Devin. He'll be on here shortly. I think he might be having some technical difficulties, but that's the world we live in. But yeah, it's still going to happen. He came and joined the dunk tank. Probably had never been on Adams Street before, at least for one of these type of events.
Right.
And I felt proud. Like, those are the things that make me feel proud. When I can introduce somebody to something that is beneficial to them without wanting something in return, without needing a favor in return or $1 million because I'm your friend.
Yes.
I had to throw that jab. But yeah, so as of right now, we are still holding Hoodstock this Sunday at Savage Park. You'll see flyers up. Shout out to my entire board. I'm not going to name names and stuff like that because it's a lot of us that do a lot of good work also on other boards. So it's not just, hey, I'm doing Hoodstock. No, I believe one person's a pastor, Others run youth programs. We have people that do a lot of multitasking things. I like seeing that because they're not looking for a pro mafia check or something like that. They're not looking to be on the front page of the paper.
Right.
I'm not looking for that, but I learned through my business, this shameless plug, in organization, sometimes you have to be because others will take your creation, your ideas, and make profit off of it without thinking about the community first.
All right. Hoodstock this Sunday.
This Sunday, we'll have artists there. Hopefully, we'll have the lineup on our page. If you want to know more, shout out to Gutter Dave. He's our co-chairman or co-CEO, and Devon Fang or Devin Fang. But that's the CEO. I'm Sergeant at Arms, so I'm just happy to be a part of the team. Happy to continue to advance the community that we live in. Somebody just
put the flyer up right over.
Let me move my head a little
right
bit.
Over. Put it right over my face. What are y'all trying to say? So this is Hoodstock. As you see, CSRN is an official sponsor of this.
That right there, bro. Wait, is that the direction? Yeah. If y'all can see it, I can. It's kind of like, the things on social media, you point to something. But we're an official sponsor. We had somebody's in the green room, but they'll just have to wait a minute. They had a first fundraiser at Hotbox, and we all came together, deliberated, and said, "Hey, we don't want to just talk about this stuff. We have some funds in our dowry. Let's do something about it." So that's what we did. Where there's, I think, like 500 or 600 book bags that's going to be delivered out to the kids. Sorry that City Park League can't be there, but my opinion, and for a few of my board members, I'm not going to be scared off of my community. We live through this. I live in Wires, for any of you that's local and stuff like that. So I'm not running out of my community because a couple of bad people or people who feel that they want to destroy communities. We're also giving away a car. So allowing somebody to have mobility to get to where they need to be.
Right. All right. Hey, look, we're going to talk a little bit more about Hoodstock. We also got it's the political season.
Yep.
And
I believe that might be in our green room right now.
All right. One of our local people or experts. So listen, stay tuned. This is the CSRN Video Minutes. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
Did you know addiction is a disease, not a moral dilemma? The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. Wasion Wellness Recovery Support Center offers culturally relevant, inpatient and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober, safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
All right, we are back. All right, this is the CSRN Video Minutes. I have no idea where Jody went. Hey, listen, we're waiting for Devon Fagan right now and having some technical difficulties getting them. I guess somebody sent the wrong limousine to the wrong house. So we're going to get to him and invite him into into this chat to talk about Hoodstock. So if he's not here right now, we're working on that. So Devon, if you're listening, hey, just be a little bit patient. We're going to get to you. Hey, listen, we're back. CSRN Video Minutes. Number one, I want to thank everybody that's in our chat. I saw CD. Hey, we need to get CD back on, all right?
Definitely.
And also Cheryl Williams.
Yep. No jobs given.
Hey, the photographer of photographers.
Yes.
portrait or landscape, whichever. All right. And also Shemaine Ivy.
Yes.
Is in our chat, who is candidate for mayor. And if you saw online last week how she was manhandled in city council chambers, it was despicable. It was weak on the way that the Toledo Police Department and the chief of police allowed that to happen. They got an opportunity to show their de-escalation skills.
Which there are none.
All right, which there are none. And if you know Charmaine the way I know her, she's maybe 5 or 6 years younger than I am, but definitely not a threat.
Right.
Definitely not someone that seeks to cause anyone harm.
Right.
But definitely, like I am, passionate about my community, passionate about exposing corruption of what really goes on under the underbelly of city government. And all of us pay a price for that. All right. We're unfriended. We're persona non grata. We're uninvited to a lot of stuff that we don't want to go to anyway.
I mean,
all right.
You're not wrong.
Well, so Shemaine Ivy is one of us. All right. And they had zero de-escalation skills. As if a chair was more important than a human being. All right. And that's wrong.
Right.
And that's why we talk about defunding the police department. That's why we talk about refunding the city of Toledo and us as a community. That's why we talk about being present next week at Whitmer, 6 o'clock, for the Toledo recovery plan, which is really getting back what's ours. That's your tax money. All right. So it's not a handout. It's not some type of grant. This is your money, and you have a say so. So big shout out to Charmaine Ivy. Keep the heat on. We're going to be there for you. However, I've got the lead administrative core of CSRN right here with us. I've got Ruth Leonard.
Yes.
If you could introduce yourself, and we're going to call Devon and say, hey, come to the back door where you used to. All right. You try to come to the front door. Didn't you hear the dogs barking?
Oh my God.
All right. So if you
went to the good green room.
I know. So if you could introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Ruth Leonard. I am the administrative lead for CSRN. I actually am wearing I'm a dark brown skinned woman. I have on a gray sweatshirt with my logo, the Educated Activist, on it. And my hair is in braids and a ponytail. One of the things I'm really excited about for this month especially is the celebration of Black August. If you have been looking at CSRN's Facebook page for the past few days, we are celebrating the accomplishments and the icons and the change agents of Black history. As many people know, Black history is not just a month for me, it goes all year. And so Black August is kind of the kickoff for the second half of Black History Year. And that is, so there are 2 ways to celebrate Black August. So actually there's many ways to celebrate, but the 2 ways that CSRN is celebrating is number 1, by having the Black August facts. Right. So every day this month, you will have a new fact for the month of August. I believe we started, or yesterday's was James Baldwin's birthday. Today we celebrate the patent of the dustpan, which was made by a Black man.
What?
So you no longer had to use your album covers to sweep up stuff. I know that's how you used to get down.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yes.
You know, like, hold on, that was a diss.
Never. over.
All right.
So wait, that was you that's doing those awesome
Yes,
things.
yes.
See, Brother Washington said it was Julie.
Oh,
Oh
no.
Lord.
Wow. You
You
just
could've-
threw him under the
you
bus
could've-
and then ran
Oh,
over him and then backed up and ran over him.
Which is not a bad idea. But
But yeah, so there are the other way that Black August is celebrated, and this is more culturally well known, is through just the identification of different political prisoners. And so August is the time that the Attica uprisings happen. August is also the time of the Haitian Revolution. August is also the time of the Ferguson uprisings. And so there have been a lot of political movements that have created political prisoners who are fighting for the freedom of our people that for some reason it tends to happen in the month of August. And so be on the lookout. Actually, CSRN has a lot of other really cool activities coming up. So I think there is talks of doing like a self-care Saturday where we just come together and you just click on the link and you just do some exercises with us. Another thing that we are looking to do is a practice of fasting or mindful eating, just to keep yourself centered and in line with what's going on in the world. There's a lot of things happening right now. Shout out to Cori Bush, who was out on the Capitol steps at 1 a.m. I believe it was yesterday morning,
right.
To bring the people out so that it could be known to any and everyone that there needs to be the eviction moratorium needs to continue. And thankfully, it looks like Biden is listening. So shout out to Cori Bush, who was a part of I believe she was a part of the Ferguson uprising.
Yeah.
Ferguson, Missouri, yeah.
And also shout out to Cori Bush. She was the main presenter at the King celebration when we performed.
Yep.
We
All
came
right.
right.
back.
Hey,
Yeah.
we came back.
So
after
yeah.
disrupting it.
Yes. So
That's what you get. All right.
So there's a lot of great things happening this month. Also be on the lookout in the next couple of months. We have our forums coming up for city council and the mayoral election. Also, early voting starts this month. If you are not registered to vote, please register today. I believe early voting begins on August 17th and goes for the primary election September 14th. So all of the signs that you've seen around town for candidates, find a candidate and find a way to support that candidate. It is very necessary and very important for your voice to be heard. And the easiest way to do that is to get involved. Politics is a game that is necessary for changes to be made, at least in the way that our society is set up right now. So please make sure that if you are not already registered to vote, you register to vote. If you are already registered to vote, then make sure that everyone in your house is registered. Make sure that your block is registered. Make sure that your neighborhood is registered. Make sure that if you have an opportunity to volunteer with a candidate, if you have an opportunity to find out what a candidate's platform is and you want to challenge that platform, find a candidate that challenges it in a way that you support. It's really important. We have, I believe, 3 official candidates for mayor, and then we have a write-in candidate, which is Charmaine Ivy. And at this time, I believe there are 20 candidates for city council. So the race is on for the primary. Register to vote.
Now, okay, we're talking about the candidates forum. I'm putting you and Jody on the spot.
Okay.
Yep.
Are we talking about? Okay, are we planning on doing this before the primary, or after they, or after? I would really like to see Charmaine. I would really like to see everybody be able to have their platform, before the primary, when, after the primary, everybody can hear Charmaine.
Right.
But before, all right, to be able to hear it at this stage of her campaign and others. So I think some people are asking me, okay, you guys are talking about it. When?
So I think it would, so with city council is an at-large race. And when you have at-large, it's a little more difficult to organize all of the candidates, because if you have a district race and we can say, all right, we'll do districts on these particular days. I do think that it would be interesting to see every candidate's platform. And so I would think we would need probably those last 2 weeks before the election day, and maybe 1 week for for city council for all of those individuals, and then another week for the mayoral race. So look for that. I believe September 14th is the last date for the primary elections, so probably the first 2 weeks in September. Look for the candidate forum to really take shape and to learn how you can be involved. Just stay in tune with CSRN on our website as well as our Facebook page.
All right. And now we're looking for a moderator.
Yes.
And CSRN has always been on target with our moderators for our Black Lives Matter candidates forums. And right now, I'm looking at somebody. Okay. We're looking at somebody. Okay. Now that we've got a date, all right, we're going to say, hey, listen, sis. Oh, I didn't say it.
Oh,
all right. Hey, look, black women bring it. Black women bring it. Black women bring it. So be looking out for that. So for Charmaine, hopefully the first or second week of September, CSRN, Black Lives Matter, Candidates Forum, be there. We have no filters, so Charmaine won't have to worry about bringing hers as if she ever did. All right.
That's why I like her.
Much love and respect to our sister that's been on the front line for quite some time, standing up for our communities, standing up for our children, and saying some of the things that some people are afraid to think in the dark.
Right.
So that's what's up on that. Hey, listen, I think that we've got Devon close to being logging in. And lastly, I think that we wanted to take a short break. Okay. We're going to come back.
Oh, wait, really quickly. So the Olympics are on. Shout out to I'm about to call her Gabby Douglas. Shout out to Simone Biles for coming back from her mental health break and earning bronze on the Olympic stage for the beam, which I can barely walk in a straight line, so you go, girl. Also, shout out to, goodness gracious, all of the Black excellence that's taken over the Olympics. Lamont Marcel Jacobs, hey boo. He is the Black Italian.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, he was running real fast.
Oh, hey. Do I got abs like that? I don't think so. All right.
But also all of the iconic Black women who are coming out from all over the world. Jamaica, y'all are taking over. And just for everyone who is in the Olympics, honestly, I am still rooting for everybody that's Black in the Olympics, but all athletes who have made it to that stage in their career, to be able to compete on that level, to show up and show out and represent your country in the best possible way. Shout out to all of y'all, because goodness gracious, sports are hard.
All right.
That's the end of the sentence.
All right. Hey, this is the CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. We'll be right back.
Yes, indeed.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
Do you care? Do you care? Your life matters to me. Does my life matter to you? If your life matters to you, wear the mask for me. It's the same for you. Your life matters to me. Does my life matter to you? If your life matters to you, wear the mask for me. It could save you. Your life matters to me. Does my life matter to you? If your life matters to you, wear the mask for me. It could save you. Your life matters to me. Does my life matter to you? If your life matters to you, wear the mask for me. It could save you. Fall back and check yourself. Fall back and check yourself. Fall back and check yourself. Fall back and check yourself.
No, when they're in there.
So
My life mattered to you.
I guess
Your
we're on.
life mattered to me. My life matters to you. You're a mess for me. I'm saving you. Okay.
I got to use all my producer skills and formatting and planning, and the green room is empty at the moment.
What?
All right,
Yes,
all right. What does that mean? The green room is
That means our guest is walking down the hall and about to appear on screen in just a moment.
There you go.
all right. And who do we have today, Jody?
We have the CEO of Hoodstock, the Hoodstock Foundation, Devin Thane. Thank you.
All right.
Say your name so we can all say it right, because we keep saying both versions.
I haven't said it.
Divine Fagan.
You see, and I've been.
That's what I thought, and so I was like, I'm gonna let him say it first,
Right,
so that I can know that I'm right.
And brother executive director, I have always said.
Right.
Matter of fact, I doubled down on Jody on the ride here, and I said, Mister. All right. I said, Mister. All right.
I get both tires this time.
That's right, and back and forward. So it was Jody, the one that meets with you every day, and
Has no idea what your name is.
I have no idea. All right, that's because probably he's too busy putting the work in. So thank you, brother, for coming back to CSRN's weekly podcast. Hey, we got a big week coming up. We've got Hoodstock 2021. Man, why Hoodstock, brother, and why now? Why is it so important that people come out and embrace this experience?
Mainly to give back to the youth and the kids and the people in the community who need it, for one. Then also in recent events of the last couple of weeks, you know what I mean? I want people to know that you can come out and have fun in a safe environment. I have enlisted the TPD as security. And we just moving forward, you know what I mean? Everybody know the situation that happened up there at the park and whatnot, and a lot of people are timid, scared, or whatever the case may be, and that's understandable. But I want everybody to know that this is going to be a safe environment, and we do have police security, and like I say, just come out and have fun and enjoy yourself.
All right, what types of things can people expect to experience and see during Hoodstock? Is it music? Is it speakers? Just because when people ask what is Hoodstock, see, they even mess it up. All right, it's the people.
Oh, they.
Absolutely, them. I'm sorry. What can people expect to experience from Hoodstock 2021?
We are advocates for peace, change, economic growth, and youth empowerment. And the actual event is about youth empowerment. We're gonna have a lot of resources out there that the parents can tap into to help the kids. We try to provide them with back to school supplies, uniforms, things like that, so they can feel good with going back to school, getting an education, learning, because education is the key to just about everything. I don't care what you're doing, you have to be knowledgeable in doing it. And we just, the term hood stock comes from having stock in your hood, in your neighborhood, far as home ownership, owning your own business, just building your neighborhood as a whole. There's no reason why every corner store should be owned in the black neighborhood should be owned by someone else. Majority of the homes in the black neighborhood are owned by someone else. And we try to empower the youth and teach them about credit, ownership. In school they teach you managerial skills, but they don't teach you about ownership, having your own, being your own boss. They teach you, okay, you can run a company for somebody, but they don't teach you that you can actually own the company, that you can build your own brand instead of making somebody else's brand money. The thing about working for somebody is that if they decide whatever happens, whatever, and they go belly up, what did I leave you?
Nothing.
Yeah, that where you what you gonna do now? You searching and trying to find another job. You know what I mean? And then it's crazy how other people earn so much money off of your labor, your hard work, and whatnot. And you can put that same time and energy into yourself and your own brand, your own business, your own community, your own everything. And that's what we preach with hood stock, and we try to get people to understand about, just having stock in their hood.
Man, I'm loving this because this is everything that that I could have ever wanted from our young people, and this is definitely exciting to be a part of. CSRN being one of the sponsors. But the question that I have to ask you, Mr. Fagan, when did you come to the realization of economic empowerment? When did that happen? That you realized, oh, this is it. When did that happen for you?
I never really had a job until I got older, and then once I got a job, it was like, dang, like some bosses, they just take it to another level. You know what I mean? Like far as like they up here and you down here, and you're nothing. You know what I mean? And then a lot of work environments, you're treated to and talked to like you're nothing. Some environments are good, but again, the store is closing. They're going out of business. What I'm gonna do? How I'm gonna feed my family? You know what I mean? I know how to run this store. I know how to make this store operate. I can do everything. I can place the orders. I can literally run this store. The owner just come in and pick up his money. So instead of me going to buy all those clothes and jewelry and other stuff, I could sit back for a minute, take that money. I can open my own store. I just was making this man all this money. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like I seen situations and stuff like that. Like, dang, like if I can run your business, why I can't run my own? You know what I mean? Because you the manager, you basically running the business. You know what I mean? So again, it's like, let me try to figure out this angle and do it myself. You know what I mean? Because even like with my body shop, I was working for a guy, and I was getting a flat rate of 300 a week. Right?
Right.
I'm working 6 days a week, almost 10 hours a day. And I'm looking at it like, okay, well, he made $15,000 this week, and I did majority of the work. You follow me? I really made $15,000 this week.
Yes,
You get what
sir.
I'm saying? So I'm learning. I'm crafting. I'm paying attention. I was only there for 6 months, and I left, and I opened up my own body shop, and I went 8.5 years strong and lived good. Was able to walk away from the streets, hustling, gang banging, drugs. Able to walk away from all of that stuff, cold turkey, because I was making so much money. I didn't have to do none of that. And that's why I try to tell these young brothers, it is another way if you really want it. If you really want to change, if you really want to get out the streets, or you really want to be a businessman, you can be. Selling drugs is just like running a business. You know what I'm saying? So it's you incorporate that. It is though. It is. There's millionaires from selling drugs. That's running a business. But you incorporate that in the legit world, because that thing right there gonna get you locked up. That thing gonna get you killed. You got to worry about these robbers. You got to worry about the police, the FBI, the snitches, everything. You got too much going on to come with that. And again, I was able to walk away on July 10th of 2010. I stopped everything. I never nothing ever since. And I haven't touched a car in almost 2 years, and I'm still comfortable. I'm still okay, to the point where my bills are paid. You know what I mean? I'm not, living the best life. Like, I'm not got no yachts or nothing. But again, I don't got to look over my shoulder. I ain't got to worry about being away from my kids. No, none of that. I try to tell these young brothers, I went through it so you wouldn't do it after me. I want to show you a better way, because there is a better way. You know what I mean? And it may not be a body shop. It could be selling clothes. It could be anything. It could be graphics. It could be whatever you want it to be. If you gotta want to do it though, you know what I mean. That's what a lot of these kids. What's that?
Oh,
that?
What
Shameless
you're saying?
plug.
Shameless plug. Right. I retired in 2015 because I found art. after
Right.
labor jobs and streets that never got caught for and stuff. But you're right. The skills that we learned in how to meet people, customer service, how to handle and budget your money, how to
Right.
do stuff other people say is scary.
Right. And see, like, I was always decent in school. You know what I mean? Like, if I did the work, I got good grades. I just sometimes didn't do the work. But my mentality was always a little different. You know, when they got to talking about frogs and stuff like that, I was, you know, like, man, this stuff ain't gonna help me get out this hood. You know what I mean? Like, so I quit going to school and I dropped out and I hit the streets. But the first time I ever skipped school, it wasn't because I just wanted to be in the streets or nothing like that. I skipped school because I was so dusty. I didn't want to go in there and get cracked on and then be talking about my shoes and how bad they stink while I got them on my feet. So that day, I just walked around the neighborhood. That was on a Friday. I just walked around the neighborhood to school let out. When school let out, I just went in the house like nothing ever happened. You know what I mean? My mom was on drugs and stuff at the time. She didn't care. They probably told her I missed class. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. But that's why I try to, you know, the first hood stock we gave away 50 pair of New Balances, 35 pair of Air Force Ones to kids, uniforms, back to school supplies. We want them to feel good about going back to school because appearance sometimes show your spirits. It makes you want to learn. It makes you want to be there because you look good, you feeling good sometimes. You know what I mean? So and that's why we try to help the parents with that aspect. Even with just getting the school supplies and uniforms, they can take the money that they would have spent on that and go get their kids a nice pair of shoes. You know what I mean? So it's just like we just trying to help in our community and help uplift the youth because the youth is tomorrow and the youth is what we need to change.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
So when is Hoodstock this year and where?
It's this Sunday the 8th at Savage Park.
All right. And how long does it go until?
We starting at 11 and it's supposed to end at 8 which is sunset. Due to the recent events, I don't know how that's gonna go because a lot of people food trucks have pulled out. A lot of almost all the performers have pulled out and whatnot. But again, we still moving forward. We're not gonna be. We don't believe we're prisoners. You know what I mean? That's what how I feel. You know what I mean? Like we're not gonna be confined because of what happened a couple weeks ago. We're just not. And we're doing everything we can to provide a safe environment for people to come out, for the kids to come out and have fun. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna give away the stuff. We're gonna be feeding the kids this year. We got bouncy houses. Like I said, there's different resources and stuff for the parents and stuff like that. We done the event last year, and I think it was Habitat for Humanity. They had they were gonna adopt 30 homes in the inner city.
Right.
And it was, you know, whatever, you know, if you meet the financial criteria, you got something wrong with your home, they come in and fix it. Only 2 people signed up. Only 2. One lady, she got a new roof and gutters. Habitat for Humanity provided that, they paid for it, fixed the lady's home. The other girl, she had just bought the house or whatever. She didn't have the money to remodel her kitchen and bathroom. They took her out to Home Depot, let her pick what she wanted, marble floors, stainless steel, everything in there. You know what I mean? And it's crazy that a person can, you know, you can pull your resources and provide this for the community and they don't even come out and get it. You know what I mean? And there was no gun violence or nothing then. And nobody came to get those resources. But again, we're going to have resources there. Hopefully people take advantage of them. And like I say, again, we just moving forward. We just want everybody to come out, have fun, bring the kids, let them get their school supplies, their snacks, and have some fun. And like again, we moving forward.
All right, and for everyone that's in our chat, Mr. Fagan, that's really loving this idea, I want everybody in our chat to go to our page or go to Jody's page or log on to Hoodstock 2021 and share that flyer.
Yes.
All right, because yeah, it is unfortunate that we can have an event, and after the event, someone will come up to Devon and say, "Man, I didn't even know you were doing it." All right,
Right.
you should have called me, as if he has time
Right.
to call you. All right, so we're going to be sharing it.
And I have another challenge because the Brother Washington and us, we're going to provide another donation when we get there. But to everybody watching, as you've heard, yep, some people had some feelings and they pulled out. So if you are available, contact one of the board members, contact Hoodstock. If you got a food truck, vendor, or something, and you want to show up to make this a bigger event, show up.
Right.
Let us know.
And again, we have police security. We have our own personal security. I can't do more than what I can do. I've made it a safe environment. We're spending money making sure that
Right.
the people there are secure. So if you don't want to come out, we got police security. You don't want to go nowhere. I can't see no better place to go than a place that got police security. They ain't like this is Joe blowing them from the projects. This is Toledo Police. So I'm doing what I can on my end to make it a safe environment and make it a successful event. And I just hope the community come out and support.
Well, I'm going to be there. I'm committed to being there. Myself and Jody, we were challenging each other on our donations. All right. And I'm challenging everybody that's watching this podcast now. And there are many that are going to watch it later on. We need you to contact Devon Fagan regarding donating toward this cause. And it's awesome when we can fund our own causes to run it the way you were talking about ownership. We own Hoodstock, but ownership also has a responsibility. You can't own something and not maintain it.
Right.
Then that leaves somebody else to come in, maintain it, and take it over, or it dies. So I'm challenging everyone. If you have $50, if you've got $200, Devon say every bit helps, absolutely, but we would like some bigger bits. All right. So if you can, log on to Facebook, go to Hoodstock, challenge yourselves, challenge your friends. So many times, Devon, we said that nothing is happening in our community. Nobody wants to do anything. Well, here it is.
It's different.
Here it is. We have someone right here that's trying to make our community a decent and safe place to live. And let's support that effort and let's show up.
That's right.
Hey, look, we're close to our break. If there's anything, Devon, that you like to share with the people that are watching now and the people that are in our chat, what would it be?
Come out and support. Come out and support your community and your kids. That would be the main thing.
That's
It's
right.
our neighborhood, and we have to take care of our kids. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right. So you're getting a lot of love from not only us here, but so many of the us in the activist community, some of us that are the politicians that are watching this, all right, that are putting that are going to put their money where their mouth is, that's going to put their presence where it's needed. And man, I'm even thinking about now, okay, after Hoodstock, there's always a cleanup.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. There's always a cleanup afterwards. So regardless to who Mr. Devon has to come in, I'm challenging some of us, hey, bring some trash bags. All right. And make that park look better than it did when we got there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really talking
I appreciate
stuff
that too.
I'm really talking stuff right now, but so many times I'll see someone have an event, and after the event, everybody's happy and they leave, and what's left behind?
Leaving their tents
All the
behind,
garbage.
something like that.
Right, all the garbage. So we're hosting this. CSRN is one of the sponsors, so I'm going to call some of the Muslim brothers and say, hey, look, we got an event on Sunday.
Yeah, y'all got your own flyer. Why y'all ain't tag me in it?
Okay, that's for Jody. All right, that's a Jody question.
Wait, which flyer?
The flyer that we just put. Oh,
And all the hard questions, Mr. Fagan, are Jody questions. So I have no idea why he purposely did that. I
Hey,
don't know why he would
so
show the flyer like that, all right, and put it up there and not tag you in it, all
I was
right?
on the injury list last week.
No,
how was you injured? You just was getting me dunked in that tank.
Oh, and I even saw that on Facebook. And to Mr.
That was last week, Tuesday and Wednesday. It will be tagged today.
Okay.
What to do so with that flyer too? Should I share that to the Hoodstock page as well or no?
Anywhere you want to, it's yours. I mean, y'all sponsoring the event, so I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why you don't even tag me. That's all. You can post it.
Yeah.
I would think you would want people in the community to know that you're sponsoring some in the community for the community. You know what I mean? Y'all community activists. So, you know, however, I just was wondering why you ain't tagged me.
Gets it, and he's perplexed, as are we.
I am flabbergasted.
All right.
To the page.
All right. So
it'll be fixed today though.
Hey, and while we on the air, I want to apologize to anybody I may have offended while I was in that dunk tank situation. I just was trying to rally the troops and to get them to support and try to dunk me. I didn't mean any harm by anything I said to anyone. I hope I didn't offend anyone.
Well,
you're good.
I was on some different stuff.
In his defense, we don't have to repeat. All right.
I think that's why she grabbed them second set of balls. So I think everybody.
Okay.
What is happening in the community?
Whoa. I wasn't even there for the first set. All right. But
I'm too young to hear this.
Right. Yeah, it got wild. It got a little
beautiful, and that's beautiful. We charge that to your passion. We charge that to your heart. All right. So most definitely.
No, the head, not the heart.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
It was awesome to see you there as well. Me and Brother Washington was talking about that.
I think I made the most money. I think I did.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they wanted to get me in that water.
So at our next look at our Black Lives Matter candidate forum, let's bring a dunk tank.
What?
All right, and put Cardi in it. All right. I mean, all right. Anyway, no. Okay. Shout out to
you know
Cardi.
He'd probably be down for it.
Shout out to Cardi and everybody else. But yeah, it's all right for us to have fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And in what we do, we talk about self-care, being able to have some essential spaces where we can let off some steam.
That's right.
And
no, I just I can't even say I was letting off steam. I was trying to entice people, and the manner in which I did it wasn't totally respectable. So but it worked out though financially for them.
All right. It is what it is.
A win's a win.
Yep.
Right.
All right. Hey, let's move on. Thank you for being here.
And I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all too.
Yes, so we're going to take a short break. This is the CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. Hey, we're going to show some bike rides matter.
All right.
All right, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
If you can ride a bike without falling, then you're good to go. Bike Rides Matter, it's a community bike group. We get together for fun, fitness, and fellowship. We ride weekly. Right now, we got a Tuesday ride where we ride on the UT Trail. We do Saturday right here at Uptown Green. That's our glow roll Saturday night. It was something I was already doing with my daughter, just riding bikes, and we just decided it would be cool to add the community because we were just finding ways to make fun given the situation. Being that everything was closed down and options were limited, bike riding is one of those things you can do without any restrictions.
You get to make new friends and just like interact with people, especially during COVID. You still like have your mask on and stuff, but it's still good to like see people.
It's a cool way to stay fit. We talk while we riding, we got music while we riding. I've met quite a few new friends and new people. I made some real cool connections throughout the city. Take advantage of the time you have. Take advantage of this pandemic. I know it's a lot of restrictions, but you can be creative and find new ways to have fun, one of which is this right here.
We are back. CSRN Video Minutes, our weekly podcast. At this point, we're going to tie up some loose ends and have some final words from Devon, and then roll into some 5 minutes of heat. Yep. All right. For Black August, also what we do at CSRN, recognizing Black August and what it is, every Sunday we turn our page over to somebody in the community that's really putting in the work. And next week's during Hoodstock, we're going to have Sister Yvette Muhammad from Eden Garden in the Nation of Islam. She's going to take over our page and share a lot of tips on gardening, growing your own food, some recipes that can make you healthier, thinking faster. The week after that, we're going to have some other clinicians and professionals in the field that love our people take over our page, so that whole page will be about their Facebook Live, about their profession. Either it's AIDS, HIV prevention, or mental health, or real estate. All right. And in the struggle, Devon, economics has always been the stepchild that no one wanted to talk about. Everyone wanted to talk about the sensational things, but it's really economic justice. Until we control our own economics, we're still going to be holding up signs, I am a man, no justice, no peace. We need to go after that bag and make our own bag. So I wanted to shout out to Eden Garden and Sister Yvette Muhammad for taking over our page next Sunday for Black August. Brother Devon, before we close out, because Jody's going to close out with 5 minutes of heat, anything else you'd like to share with those that are watching?
Not really. I'm available anytime for any questions. If anybody want to ask me anything about Hoodstock, concerning Hoodstock, anything about vending, anything about food truck, anything about supporting, any questions, any questions about the event itself, what the organization stands for, you can always reach out to me. I respond to everybody.
All right. And in our chat, Jody, also Sister Georgia Daniels is getting at you. She said, hey, share the flyer. So while he's down, everybody, let's go ahead and kick him while he's down. But
it's in our story right now. I can only tag you. And okay, so transparency. I run 26 pages, 894 groups on Facebook. Because I run them, I'm admin on them. So when I tag people, unless you actually like the page or have shared the page, your name won't pop up. So I've tagged you. It should pop up on CSRN, but I also like to keep that anonymity, because it's weird to, I guess, be the page person or the admin of all these pages, and on my phone, like when I'm liking everybody right now, I'm liking, but it's telling you the page is liking.
Well, I'll tell you what, just like Devon said, hey, look, it's your page, all right? It's like, it's your flyer, all right? So CSRN is you, all right? So if you posted as CSRN, if you posted as Jody Summers, Tears of the Wounded, Child of the System, I can name all 850 groups, all right? But we don't have that much time. So Jody, as we close out with 5 minutes of heat. What do you have for us today? And also, thanks for being a good sport with Ruth saying all the things that she said.
See, she got replaced by cell phone now. Never mind. Yeah, so actually, I wanted to do a little Toledo moment here before 5 minutes of heat because I've done a lot, I've accomplished a lot, and I've gotten rid of most of my nightmares from days walking the streets and going up to food banks and being homeless and stuff. But one thing I've always heard about Toledo, and as I've traveled and stuff, we have probably the most dominant brand in the entire world, which is actually the coming up this weekend, Jeep. I think when people talk down or bad on Toledo, they forget that if it wasn't for us, might not have won World War II. And you can go into the middle of the jungle in the Amazon, and somebody there probably has a Jeep,
Okay.
which always amazed me as a kid
Facts.
growing up.
Okay.
August 1st was the first production of the Jeep.
Oh.
So happy birthday in a sense to us, Toledo, the mud, all the stuff that comes out. It's actually a very fitting vehicle too, because take them anywhere in the world, they still run, no matter what the situation is or circumstances. So
Okay.
that's my Toledo moment for that. And so today, I wasn't here last week, and then next week we'll be taking a break for the 5 minutes to eat.
Right.
But I did say I would be reading because I love doing local stuff. I love propping us up more than whatever Bezos or Nike or some corporation is doing. So this book here was done during the pandemic. I did a few things that were local. It's called Black Lives, and it was a collaboration between me, Joni McKintry, and a whole bunch of authors and local poets. So we wanted to talk about, or if we had pieces that were, I guess, to give you an eye different than what the media was telling you was going on with the riots and stuff like that. What we've come out of, a lot of people, I don't know, have, I guess, tried to crucify because of what happened last year, but still going to be with the movement no matter what it is until I'm no longer needed, which unfortunately probably won't be a long time.
Right.
It will be a long time. So every week I'm going to read one of the people. I'll try and get them on here and see if they can do the podcast to read it in their own words. But again, shout out to everybody. I got almost all my signatures. Even got Joni last week at the open mic. So the first one here, and you can contact her. I'll try and I don't know if she has that information up, but it'll be on my page. Says Black Lives. I don't know if y'all can see that right there. But this first poem is going to be from Sandra Gill. The poem is Landscape of a Body is Uneven. So hopefully I do your piece justice.
Okay.
Very new for me. When it is stretched, like truth over mahogany canvas, a self-portrait under fire, it captures the trials of mountainous plain fields and deep-rooted valleys, the ripples of southern crop, crashed, naked, trod by deliberate shoes. It is a crushed shield against the spray of injustice. A profilers pierce the harvest. It is a clear separation of body and spirit, a rigid between you and I. The scaffold to learn freedom, swaying shapes of the powerless, who whisper, why? It is the aimless snapping of judgment, a sequence of frames cast in a dark room, the underground of theories to passageways of dingy light, shipped on the still of rippled breath, waiting in nebulous streams. It is a castration of marginalized dreams that stand, clinging to existence, abbreviated before saying goodbye. It is the sun ascending just beyond the horizon of shadows, flashing redistribution amidst the fall of tears. That's Sandra Gill's poem, previously published in the Flight of Literary magazine.
All right. Thank you, Jody. And tune in. Not next week, but the week after. We may have someone else.
Yes.
If we're not participating in the Toledo Recovery Plan, and which is next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Join CSRN at Whitmer High School, 6 p.m. Toledo Recovery Plan. All the hard questions and all.
If you got thoughts of what you want your community to look like.
Yeah.
Not let it be shaped by your politicians, your corporations, who again have been given these millions of dollars for who knows how long and come up with the same answers. Let's come up with our own.
All right. And with that, we're going to close out with the solidarity pledge. I'm going to say I. You say I. I'm going to repeat some things, and it's a call and response. So if you can say with me, say I.
I.
Your name.
Jody.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
As I love myself.
As I love myself.
I.
Your name.
J. Summers.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To study.
To study.
To improve myself.
To improve myself.
Spiritually.
Spiritually.
Mentally.
Mentally.
Morally.
Morally.
And physically.
And physically.
For the benefit of myself.
For the benefit of myself.
My family.
My family.
And my people.
And my people.
I.
Your
name.
Child of the system.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To be a part of the solution.
To be a part of the solution.
The process.
The process.
And not the problem.
And not the problem.
I. Your name.
Spoken truth.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To give all that I can spare.
To give all that I can spare.
Of my time.
Of my time.
My strength.
My strength.
And energy.
And energy.
To achieve.
To achieve.
The above said.
The above said.
All right. Thank you, Brother Devon, for being with us. Thank you, everyone in our chat. Thank you, everyone that's watching this podcast. And we hope that something that we said to you inspire you to be your best self, to improve yourself and your community. And it's always, Jody, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else, peace.
Yeah. We ended on time.